Scientists are trying to figure out exactly what time is. They say it started with the Big Bang. I don't know about that. I just want to know when's the best time to go to Walt Disney World. Let's figure it out as we go Geekin on Walt Disney World. Welcome to episode 70 of the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast, and I am your co-host, Curtis Stone. We are the family-friendly father-daughter podcast that will feed your passion for Walt Disney World by sharing our experiences and opinions, as well as others from our community of passionate Walt Disney World geeks. And tonight we're doing number 2 of the podcast Roundtable. I'm excited. This is something we just started about a month ago, and we are going to do this on a monthly basis is the plan. And we're going to concentrate on planning your Walt Disney World podcast, or your podcast. Yeah. Planning your Walt Disney World trip. And to help us do this, we have the round table of super geeks, starting with Sarah Chapman. How are you, Sarah?
I'm great. Hope you are too.
I'm doing good. Are you booking some clients?
We are booking some Disney World, getting ready to book some Disney cruise lines. They announced the itineraries going through the rest of 2016.
All right. Our panel of roundtable, they're all travel agents for Walt Disney World, and that's why they're here to teach us all about planning your Disney World vacation. Hi, thanks, Sarah. How about Erica Murphy? Are you there?
Hi, Kurt. I'm here.
Erica's from ericamurphytravel.com, and Sarah, you're from LBAC Travel, right? Is that?
Yes, that's right.
That's the right way to say it?
That is.
All right. We'll give that all on the show notes after, and we also have Brian Wall. Hi, Brian.
Hey, howdy, hey, kids.
How you doing tonight, Brian?
I'm doing good. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I had a good day today, but I had some excitement.
Yeah, I saw that.
I posted out on my personal Facebook a little encounter with a black bear today on my walk during lunchtime. I usually walk at lunchtime and during work. And what happened was I was walking up to this road that has a bike path that crosses, and it's a beautiful bike path there in Simsbury, Connecticut. And I see a police officer following me, wondering what did I do or what's going on. She stops at the path, and then I see some onlookers looking towards the path, and then someone finally says, "There's a bear." And he hadn't come up on the path yet, but he was coming up from a little swampy area. And then I see him make his way up. There was a wooden rail fence with 3 rails. And would you believe he was bouncing on the rail fence, trying to break through?
Wow.
And it was kind of amazing. They're so smart, aren't they? And it was kind of fun. There was a pretty good crowd there, and the police officer was there. And I don't know if it's girl bear or boy bear, but broke through that rail fence, crawled in through, and then just started walking down the path. And I did snap a picture. And he finally crossed over. He bounced on the other rail, and he couldn't get through. And then he bounced on another one, broke that, and walked in through the woods. So yeah, we have some bear sightings in Connecticut.
So I was gonna say, is that pretty? That's pretty typical for for the area that you live in.
Yeah, we've been encountering some black bears quite often. I've had them. I'll tell you, it's kind of a cute story. One time about 15 years ago, the kids were little. And I was working downtown here, and my wife called. You'll never believe what happened to me. She was getting the kids into the van, and she was in the garage, and in the corner of her eye, she saw something black, like underneath the window go by. And she walked to the end of the garage and turned around and stared right into a black bear.
No way.
I mean, like she said, we almost touched noses. But luckily his nose was on the ground, and she was so scared she shut the garage door, and then called the neighbor because he was crossing the road over to my neighbor's house. And yeah, so it's quite often we'll encounter black bears around here.
Wow. Well, tell Mama to quit leaving big jars of honey in the garage.
You know what they like? They like the bird feeders, too.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. I've seen pictures of that.
They like the bird feeders. Of course, they're looking for food. I saw one driving. I did see one a couple of years. I was driving to work, and early in the morning, coming through a kind of, it's definitely a residential area, and one crossed the road in front of me. So they are about. It's, it's like Animal Kingdom. I love it.
Well, we're glad you made it.
Yeah, it was. I was never threatened. Everyone was standing around there. I doubt they want to bother the people. They just want to go about their way. Unless there's cubs. We did have some cubs, actually. They're so cute. We did last summer have a mama with 4 cubs, and they climbed a tree in my neighbor's yard. We were all looking at them.
Nice.
I'm in Northwest Connecticut. Yeah, I guess it's kind of the Wild Kingdom.
Guess so. Sounds like it.
It's fun. All right. Yeah, so tonight we're going to talk about planning your Disney World vacation. And there's some big questions you got to answer. And the first one we're going to answer tonight is when to go to Disney World. But before that, Brian, you're talking about to me some recent history, or what's going on in history now. What's kind of going on? What kind of things you seeing down there? Something about a new restaurant?
Yeah. For all the if there's Indiana Jones fans out there like I am, there's a new bar coming to Disney Springs. It's called Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. And most people, I guess if you're an Indiana Jones fan, most people would recognize Jock Lindsay as the pilot from Raiders of the Lost Ark, the pilot who saves Indiana Jones from the angry natives at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks really cool. It's all like aviator themed, like a real air hangar. And then I was looking at some of the food and drink, and you'd be happy, Kurt, because
food and drink about covers it.
A primate parfait. There's a Jovito mojito. One of my favorites is the rolling boulder meatballs. Sounds good.
This is just a bar, but they got some kind of bar food.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
You get an idea when they're putting that in?
It says this fall, so
wow.
Hopefully, it doesn't exactly say where exactly where it's going to be located at, but it looks really cool. Hopefully there's no snakes, but
yeah, I don't like snakes. And I watch those survival shows, and I'll get hooked into those shows. I've been watching Naked and Afraid for yesterday for about 4 hours.
Oh, jeez. I don't know what to do with myself now that Walking Dead's not on, but
I know. I was just seeing there's a new one coming out this summer that starts in LA.
It's called Fear the Walking Dead.
Fear of the Walking Dead. Yes, Mama was showing that to me. A trailer, a really short trailer on that. Not a lot out.
Yeah, this bar looks pretty cool. I'm not much of a drinker, but I'm all for eating some of the rolling boulder meatballs.
That sounds good. Yeah, I love meatballs. All right, and also I think Erica, you were telling me you were looking at some of the new stores coming on down there.
Yeah, I was just looking online this morning at a list of some more additions to the downtown Disney. Well, I guess I should say Disney Springs lineup. They've got some new stores coming in. Looks like Tommy Bahama, if you want to get your Hawaiian shirt action going.
That makes sense.
Lily Pulitzer. There's going to be an UGG store. So all the Florida people really need to stock up on their winter boots, I'm sure.
Yeah, what's an UGG store? What is UGG?
It's a brand of boots.
So
yeah, they're like I don't know. If you remember the Doc Martin boots, but they're kind of like that. I mean, they're pretty, like Erica said, they're like thick winter boots. I don't know.
Yeah, they're the kind, you see them, they're very hip and cool. The kids like to wear them. They have like the fur inside.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to think of, what you need is water boots, like rubber boots sometimes down there. That's about it.
Yeah.
Not winter boots.
I think they have man Uggs. I think they're called mugs. So you can put those on your Christmas list, Curtis.
Yeah. I got the same pair of boots my uncle gave me about 25 years ago, I think. I got a used pair of boots. I don't even lace them up anymore. What else? Any other good? There's lots going on down there.
Yeah, I was able to.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Is that Sarah? Sarah, are you there?
I was just going to say the Star Wars weekends started up this past weekend, going through mid-June, and so my family is very excited about that, especially my 2 older boys, looking forward to trying out all the new and old things that they have coming back for that.
What do they have coming back?
Well, some of the same things that they've had in years past, like the fireworks that they had last year that are just absolutely amazing. And then they have some new things. There's a Rebel Hangar, which is sort of a lounge, sort of sounds like the one coming to Downtown Disney that's Indiana Jones themed, but they've got that coming in, has some neat food items there and drinks too that are all Star Wars themed. So, and it's right there by Star Tours, so it kind of makes me think, are they testing this out for when they build a Star Wars land, perhaps?
Wow, boy, think of that. Think about Trader Sam's and then merge that with the scene in Star Wars at the Galaxy Bar. I don't know what they call it. I like Star Wars, but I'm not like a real geek over it. But you know what I'm talking about. There's a famous scene with all the different characters and aliens from different lands. That would be really cool to do something like that. That'd be really popular. Imagine some animatronics or things going on like Trader Sam's.
Yeah, very cool.
Wow.
Sarah, are you going to have some of the Tatooine blue milk that they have the food part of the Star Wars weekends?
Yeah, the blue milk really isn't appealing to me, so we'll see about that.
Excellent. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to a website that has got some really good ideas, or like basically walks us through the whole year of what's going down in Disney World. So when you're thinking about planning your Disney World vacation, and you guys as travel agents, is this one of the first things you talk to people about? Like, when are you going and what's going on down there?
Yes.
Is that like question number 1, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much the first question people want to know. When should we go?
Are they kind of open to when they're going to go?
Some people are. Some people are really open, and then some people maybe have it narrowed down to a couple of choices.
Because I know when you got kids, obviously it kind of limits if you're not going to be taking them out of school.
Right.
But then if you're like me, who's an empty nester, at least partially, I think I am. Sometimes I am. Getting there for sure. And I've been there to most. Now you guys, have you been there like all times of year? I know Erica has.
I think I've been there every month of the year except March, maybe.
Well, I got that covered. I've been there.
Yeah, I've done summertime. I've done the fall. We've done the holidays. I've done early December. But I was, like Eric and I were talking beforehand, I've never done the beginning of the year, like January, February, March. We've never done spring break. So that's the only time that I haven't been.
All right. Well, we're going to start with January. And I've been there. I used to go. That's how I started going to Disney World, actually, was in January, because the conference that I attended was in January. And at that time, when I first went in 1999, it was a downtime for Disney World as far as crowds were concerned. It was a nice time of year to go. It was winter here in the north. That's one good reason to go down to Florida, right? In January. It's cold up north. So you can, and although you can catch some cold days in January, you got to be careful, especially at night. But you also can get those nice 70 degrees days and get a little tan, get a little sun. Everyone knows when you come back home, you've been somewhere warm. But it's what Disney's been doing over the years is just adding fun things to do to fill in those times that were traditionally quieter in the parks. And one thing they've been doing, I'm looking here at January, is the marathon and the running days. I don't know if any of you guys are runners.
I'm a runner, but I'm no longer a marathon runner. I've always wanted to do the marathon. And I was just on the website, the Run Disney website, looking at, how many people had been signed up for the races. And believe it or not, there's still some room. There's still entries for the marathon, but the Dopey challenge and some of the other challenges were already sold out.
Oh,
and I can't, that's what surprised me, was that more people want to do the Dopey as opposed to just the marathon. And I mean, it's pretty pricey when you get into doing the Dopey challenge.
Now, the marathon, are they doing, the one I'm looking at is basically the one they do in January. Is there another marathon they do? I'm not.
No, the Dopey, they do, I believe the Dopey includes a 5K, or not the Dopey. Is it the Dopey?
Yeah, the Dopey is the 5, includes the, well, now there's two different ones, because there's a Goofy and a Dopey, but I get those confused, because there used to be one where it was, if you did the half marathon and the full marathon, and then they added the one where you do the 5K, the 10K, the half marathon, and the full marathon.
These are so wildly popular. Obviously, they're adding more and put them in.
And those are all on that same weekend. It's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I know some people run them all, right?
Yeah. So looking at the Dopey right now, the Dopey is you run the 5K, you run the 10K, you do the half marathon, and then you do the marathon, and then you sleep for a week, apparently.
I know. I have a friend at work who's done that, and boy, give him credit if you can do that. I mean, I'm commando, but goes way beyond what I would do in the parks. I don't need to run. I always get a kick of, guys, when I'm down in the parks, and I've done the pedometer where I walk. I'm trying to remember, like 23 miles, I think, was some of my highest miles in the parks walking for a day. But then I'll see people in the morning go out running, and I'm wondering, why do you got to go for a run if you're going to be walking 26 miles today, 23 miles?
Because Disney's got the resorts have some great running trails. I know we stayed at the Wilderness Lodge last summer. My brother-in-law was doing that, was getting up every day and running some of the running trails back and forth between Fort Wilderness and Wilderness Lodge. So
and if
there's crazy people out there.
If you're dedicated, it's funny, I was listening to a podcast today, and it happened to be the owner of a company my son is going to work for full time. He's graduating college this Friday, and in graphic design, he's going to work for Spartan Race. So,
oh, cool.
Spartan Race is a company, they do extreme, and that's more than running. It's obstacle courses and mud and all kinds of up mountains and that kind of thing. But yeah, they were really dedicated to, when I actually did run for a while, but I did a plantar fasciitis injury that stopped me from running ever since. But it's kind of addicting and it's challenging and it's fun. And we'll definitely do a show at some point with somebody who loves it and does it all the time. I mean, I had some people on mine, and we'll definitely do that and just get right into that. Anything else for January you guys can think of?
Well, it seems like a lot of people like to take advantage of that first week of January because a lot of schools are still on holiday break. So you can, come down to Disney maybe January 1st or 2nd and then squeeze in a trip before the kids have to get back to school.
Yeah, because the high schools or the grammar schools, they go back later in January. Or do they?
It depends on the school corporation. Yeah. I know around here, usually we go back around the 9th, maybe 8th, something like that. So
we go right back, actually.
Yeah, I think it just depends on where you live. But
the college kids go back a little later.
That week used to be really dead, and a great time to just hit the parks. But it seems like that secret is out now. So the last, 5 years or so, I'd say it's probably not much different than the week before.
I want to think the last time I went to the conference in January was like 2008. Even then, my wife and my sister-in-law, the three of us would go down, and the two sisters would go to all the parks while I was at the conference. And then I would take a day at both ends usually to go, but it was crowded. I mean, the lines, it was busy. So
Yeah.
we're not talking.
I think that, people realize there's a lot of discounts that start that week too.
There you
Usually they'll start back up like around January 2nd. So people will take advantage of, a good discount plus the kids being out of school. It's kind of like the perfect combination of,
and when the kids are little,
getting away from the cold, of course, too.
Right. And when the kids are little, it's not too difficult to take them out of the school, even though the grammar schools, even now, are frowned upon it. But, if they're in kindergarten, what are they going to miss? A little finger painting. Especially when that first week back. You'll see the kids down. All right, let's go move into February. There's another running event. The Princess Half Marathon Weekend happens in February. And one of our sister podcasts, friendly podcasts, the Disney Exchange, I think they are actually planning to have a get-together for next year's Disney Princess Half Marathon, because Lisa Green runs. And David Hodges runs also. And I think they're planning to do that, and then their other co-host is going to walk it, which is what I would do. But that's another running event. And for February, of course, you've got, Brian, you were talking about before, there's other little mini events going on.
Yeah. And I was just looking at February right now, and there looks like there's like a mini float parade that goes on at Port Orleans Riverside. On Fat Tuesday, that has music and Disney characters, beads and candy and stuff like that. I mean, this kind of stuff that, and I'm embarrassed to say, even as a travel agent, I didn't know about some of these little things that they do. Like this Mardi Gras thing that they do in February.
Of course, on Valentine's Day, you might see a wedding proposal. Right? You could see
a lot of kissing.
A lot of kissing in front of the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What else in February? There's no real big events that I can think of. Again, though, it's cold up winter and I like to go in February. All right, let's move in.
Yeah, there's kind of a trick to February. If you can go in the first half of February, it's pretty low crowds. But as you get into President's Week, the crowds really pick up. The East Coast, I think, has a lot of schools that are out of session during President's Week, and that tends to be a busy time.
Right. Anytime the schools are out, you're going to have busy crowds. I can always tell by looking at my DVC point schedule. The more points means the busier the crowds. That's how I go by. All right, March. I think, Brian, this is one of your favorite events down in Disney World. At least it would be. It's the Atlanta Braves spring training.
The Braves spring training is down there, and I don't know. They've been talking for a couple of years. I know the Braves organization has been talking for. I've heard rumblings the last couple of years about possibly moving, but I don't know why they would. It's such a great location, and it draws. People that aren't even baseball fans are going to games, and to go see the Yankees, the Red Sox, and teams that they might not normally get to see, but spring training is always for me, it's always been an exciting time just because I'm a baseball fan. So
yeah, I am a big baseball fan. I'm a Yankee fan, New York Yankee fan. Just went.
Boo!
It's true. Hey, I'm going to be either a Boston or a Yankee fan. So, and that's what we are around here. Mm-hmm. And I would love to spend some time for spring training. That's again, it's right here. It was so cold this winter, and we didn't even have a spring. Now it's getting hot. But to spend some baseball time down there would be a lot of fun, and to mix it with Disney, I would do a little bit of Tampa and a little bit of Disney. I think would be a nice vacation time.
It's cool too because this stadium. It's not a big stadium. If you've been to like a AAA or a AA ball club stadium, it's kind of similar to that. Right. So it's very intimate. So to be that close up to some of the players is kind of cool too. So,
yeah, I don't know. My only experience with the Wide World of Sports complex again was through this conference that we went. They brought us over there one night. They had the Brian Setzer band. Any of you guys know who that is? He was with the Stray Cats.
I did in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm older than all you guys. So Brian Setzer, I actually saw Brian Setzer for real in Malibu. He was eating lunch. I walked by him when I was in college, but he did a set there. They had like the fields. They had people doing. It was actually probably the worst conference night, party night they ever had. They had food and stuff, but it wasn't like one of those nights where they open up a park and you get the whole conference gets the park for a night. They had the wide world of sports, and nobody really wanted to throw footballs or, I don't know, swing baseball bats. But so I did see what it looks like over there, so I know what you're talking about with the baseball field. And my son plays college baseball, and so my thing I would love to go down in February. I'm planning my next trip, I think, after the two that I'm doing this year will probably be February, March. But the thing I might coordinate is with Ben's team as he goes down for the college teams. All the college teams go to Florida. They like to. I don't know where he'll play, if he'll be the same place. I hope it's near Orlando.
That sounds like fun. Let me know. Let's coordinate a boys trip.
I know. If you're
that would be really cool.
That's he was playing for Fort Pierce, I think the name of the town was, down on the East Coast. They played this year, and I'm sure he'll be playing next year. I hope they play up near Orlando because they switch it around sometimes. Then I can mix the two. All right, now, of course, the big thing starting in March is one of my favorites, the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival.
And food and wine.
Oh, I love. What do you guys know about the Flower and Garden Festival?
I think I like it better than food and wine, but don't tell anybody. It's a little less crowded. It's a little more tame. Epcot is just gorgeous, and then you add in the food and the wine and the other things, and I think it's just, I love it. I agree with you, Kurt. I love it.
Yeah, and the music, too.
Yeah.
I love the outdoor music, and I love that Epcot has the American Experience Pavilion there. Now, this year, let's see, we'll guess your ages if you know all these bands, but I think this lineup of entertainment for music is fantastic. Starting this year was the Gin Blossoms, which I love. I love the Gin Blossoms. I have their greatest hits and a couple of their albums. Pablo Cruz, I don't know, En Vogue, Starship, and the orchestra, which is ELO was the first concert I ever went to as a kid, and I love. They have some of these bands are, I don't know, actually some of them are the real thing. The orchestra doesn't have all the former members, but the Village People were down there. Sarah, were you seeing the Village People?
We did. We saw the Village People. We didn't go into the theater, but we kind of got right when they were doing their last song, which was, of course, YMCA.
Yeah, and you got to learn how to do YMCA.
Yes, the proper way.
The real way. John Cicada, the Guess Who, Taylor Dane, the Liver River Band. I'm a big fan of their music. I actually saw them live, too. I saw them at the Yale Bowl back in the day with Hart, and the Eagles were headliners. I saw the Little River Band, so I'd love to see them. Hermit and Hermits, which is a big... Mama's a big fan of Herman Hermits. And anyway, that's a lot of fun. They do like 3 or 4 shows a night, and they do them on the weekends. I love that. But you know what, Sarah? I have been telling people the same thing. You know, the fall festival, the Food and Wine gets all of the publicity, but the Flower and Garden, I think it's better. I would, and my argument too, I love the smokehouse over at the American Experience. They have a big, huge smoker, and I'm a big fan of that. And you guys have probably seen Lindsay bought me a bunch of stuff over there. Got it on sale. So I love that. Anything else about the Flower and Garden? Obviously, the grounds are absolutely gorgeous.
I've never been to Flower and Garden, but
take it from us.
What's that?
Take it from us.
Yeah, it sounds to me like I'm sold.
Well, they have the food. I think the food booths are different, but they still have food kiosks there. So you can get that. Yeah, it's all cool. Now, another event. Well, Easter happens in March. I don't know what they do much for Easter? You guys know if they do much?
They do at the resorts.
Okay.
And they have a special, a little bit special addition to the parade at Magic Kingdom. But the resorts this year, we were at the Grand Floridian, so they had candy, they had crafts, they had like a little, candy scramble, I guess you'd say. Characters come to the resorts to do meet and greet, so it's really kind of cool.
They do Easter egg hunts?
They didn't hide Easter eggs, but they just kind of had candy. At the Grand Floridian, they had it arranged in different Cinderella. They designed the candy to look like things from Cinderella, like the glass slipper, and then let certain age groups go in, and you just grab candy.
I think actually Lindsay was over at Epcot. I don't know if it was Easter Day. It could have been, and I think they had some kind of Easter eggs. They were handing out little plastic eggs with something inside of them.
Yeah, we did that for this year. They had an Easter egg hunt all throughout the World Showcase. You could collect, after you completed the hunt and found all the eggs, then you could collect a prize that was like a little plastic Disney character egg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was... Yeah, so they had them... Were they easy to find? They were kind of all around World Showcase?
Actually, they weren't really that easy to find. We had a hard time finding some of them. Like, each country had an egg that was hidden, and these eggs were probably, I would guess, they're pretty big, about 12 inches. And then you would just have to look around each country until you found the egg. They had like a sheet of stickers, and you'd have to match the design of which egg was found in each country. And then when you completed the whole map, you got the prize at the end.
Sounds like fun. Like over in England there with all those hedges, they can hide a lot of stuff in there. That'd be hard. You know what? You gotta be careful. There's snakes in there. I saw, not just there, but you gotta be careful. I came across a snake one time over in Norway, right where the little Kringle bakery is. And they have the little eating place behind it. And there's, I was walking along the bakery and there was a snake in the hedges there. And the cast member had to come and take him away. So be careful.
Because he heard you scream or what?
No, I think he was already on his way. I wasn't the first to find him, but I definitely went over there and took a look at him. One of them, he was kind of orangey color. I don't know what kind he was, but didn't want to find out.
Well, I know and I'm sure Sarah and Eric can attest, but as a travel agent, you're booking a lot of people who, I book for some teachers, and I know a lot of them go over spring break, and some teachers this year, their spring break fell over Easter, and so, people going down at this time of year, luckily there's some longer park hours, with the frequent fireworks and parades and shows and things like that. But that's always something that you want to, let people know as they're going down that it's, it's definitely going to be crowded. Yeah. Especially, the closer you get towards spring break and things like that. So mid-March, mid-April, it gets busy.
You gotta use those crowd strategies on those spring breaks. Because those are, again, that's the time when kids aren't in school. That's like we were saying, for sure. And the other thing they mentioned here, and you see this is kind of fun, the youth group competitions, whether it's sports or dance or cheerleading. And I got some friends going down there soon, in June actually. They're doing, I think, a dance competition. And Disney's great in packing those all-stars and the value resorts with these groups. And it's a lot of fun. The bands can march through Magic Kingdom, obviously, and all those things. And just don't be in line for something to eat if they're in front of you.
Yeah, and if you're going to be staying at the All Stars with small kids and you're looking for a quiet room, you may want to bump yourself up to a moderate resort because there won't be any quiet rooms in the All Stars, especially All Star Sports.
We always make fun of the Brazilian tour groups with the flag, they're walking around, or any other kind of tour group. But I'm trying to think. I'm not remembering which country. Argentina, I think they were from. Funny enough. But they were in the African part of, Animal Kingdom. and the band was there, and they were doing a lot of dancing and getting the crowd going, and this Argentina group of kids came through, and they just overtook that and just made it so much fun. And the funny thing was, the guy with the flag started leaving, but the song wasn't quite over, and then there was nobody there.
Wow.
It was kind of fun. I was video recording. They were like, "Where'd everybody go?" They made the party, and they took it with them. But, yeah, those are always fun and interesting to see the kids having fun. All right, April. And we're still doing flower and garden, thankfully. But anything else going down there in April? I don't see too much really on the calendar here for April.
The Earth Day, well, the Animal Kingdom, the day Animal Kingdom opened, but do they do the Everest Challenge in April, or is that May?
I'm going to look.
I'm not sure.
It was May this year, but I think this was the last year they were doing that one.
Yeah, that's right. Because one of the other podcasts, the Resort Loop, Bob, I think, had done that with his son.
Yeah, they did May 1st and May 2nd this year. All right, well, moving into May, you got the Star Wars weekend. Now, I know, Sarah, you're excited for the Star Wars weekends.
I'm excited because my kids are excited. Honestly, I'm not really that big of a Star Wars fan, but with two boys, tween teenage boys, they really like it. So I'm excited because they're really looking forward to it. So we've got a lot of special things planned. It's actually going to be my son's 12th birthday when we're there for Star Wars weekends this year. But I think they do a great job with that, especially with the now that Disney owns Star Wars, I guess the caliber of the stars has really sort of increased as far as the celebrity stars, that is. The fireworks are the best that I've ever seen. They're just amazing. The amount of fireworks that they throw up all at one time is just amazing in the sky. But yeah, it's really interesting. And now, there are swirling that Star Wars Land could come to Hollywood Studios or to Disney World in some fashion. Makes it even more interesting to see what they do with these.
Now, last year I was there for my June. It was around the first week of June. I did my 25th anniversary trip. Fell right into Star Wars weekend, and I happened to be there when Luke Skywalker was there.
Hey, I was there too. I didn't see you.
Were we there at the same time? Did we not even know each other?
I was there for Mark Hamill too.
Were you really? Because he was only there one weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all must have been there at the same time.
We were all there. When they did the parade, I was in the parade. I was kind of coming from over 50s prime time when I saw the parade coming. And actually, they have the parade with all the troopers, I guess you want to call them, kind of they kind of lead. I think they lead the parade. So I was watching them, and then I made my way over to where Mark Hamill and Billy D. Williams was there too the same day. Those were the two big ones I obviously recognized. It was kind of interesting to see Mark Hamill after all these years and see how much he aged because he was such a baby face back in the day. Now, and they're all getting up there in age. But yeah, that was kind of fun. And like I said, I'm not a huge geek Star Wars kind of thing. But my youngest son Ben really loves the Star Wars, and we're grabbing him, and we walked over and kind of got into that real mashup crowd where they were kind of getting up on the stage, getting smashed up to the stage. But that was kind of fun. I think they try to get to those Star Wars weekends real early so they can sign up to get the actors' autographs, right? There's some real long lines to get in there. I wasn't going to do that.
If you can do rope drop at Hollywood Studios for Star Wars weekends, I know that they have the Stormtroopers that do kind of a cool little show. That's one of my favorite things about Star Wars weekends are the Stormtroopers.
Yeah, I think I missed rope drop, but yeah, that's really cool. I love seeing the characters out and about. I did run across the janitors acting as Star Wars characters. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, cool, yeah. The janitors?
No, not the janitors. It's actually...
Oh, the janitors.
The janitors. Yeah, they were walking around with plungers acting as lightsabers. They were... The one guy had a bucket over his head with a painted, Darth Vader on his helmet. I got my picture with them. Those are the street performers that usually are out there in the Hollywood Studios streets there. That was kind of fun. That was my closest brush up with the actors. They were fake though. But I love over at Hollywood Studios. You know, they have the little, what do you call those actors that do little impromptu stuff? I love that stuff. And you get involved with it. All right. What else is going? Where are we? We're in May. Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
I think I did something about that in a podcast recently. Now I forget something about Mexico winning a war with France, I think. Well, I didn't even know they fought France. But hey, it's another good chance to have a margarita, right, Brian?
At 11 o'clock.
At 11 o'clock. Well, now you got an excuse for Cinco de Mayo.
Well, I guess on Cinco de Mayo you can start whenever you want, but...
There might be a line at 11 o'clock that I got to battle through.
Yeah, you have to get a fast pass for it that day, I think. But it looks like they have annual... I didn't know this. Again, they have some kind of special activities for kids and families at the Mexico Pavilion in Epcot on Cinco de Mayo. So
perfect. And I love doing my margaritas over there. I don't want a line there, so I don't know. I hope I don't have to wait in line if I go for Cinco de Mayo. That would be disappointing. I'm usually the first one in line, 11 o'clock.
Or you may have to bump elbows with some people on that day.
I'm pretty big. I don't know. I can handle myself.
One of the things I thought was interesting too, International Migratory Bird Day is May 9th of this year. We missed it.
Yeah, what's going on for that? Become an
honorary bird at the Animal Kingdom.
I love that bird show over there.
Yeah.
Flights of Wonder.
Here's a good one. Have any of you ladies celebrated Mother's Day at Disney World before?
No.
Yes.
I'm so jealous.
Who said yes?
Yeah. Actually, I don't remember what year it was, but we were down there for Mother's Day one year, and they had this special Mother's Day brunch at Epcot with characters and stuff. It was so cool. It was in that, I think it's called the Millennium Building, or maybe that's what it used to be called. And it was like huge buffet meal and tons of character interaction. It was so cool. And I don't know why they don't keep doing that, because it was really crowded and popular. But yeah, that was really neat.
Well, you know what? Speaking of popular, well, there's some more stuff here, but I'm wondering what's going on with some of the events they did last year. I'm not seeing them happen, like the after hours at Epcot and also the Harambe Nights. I've not seen any announcements there for this year. I thought they were really popular.
Yeah, I had a feeling that Harambe Nights was just sort of a special deal because of the new, to dedicate the new Lion King Theater and stuff. I had a feeling they may not bring that back.
And maybe I agree, and I was thinking of the same thing, and then I wonder, because they have some night things coming up pretty soon there, with the lights and all the things going on. I think they're going to try to bring some more nighttime things there anyway, right? All right. What about this coolest summer ever? 24-hour kickoff event. That's happening. You guys ever do a 24-hour event?
Nope, never.
I want to. I really want to, but I have
Some
not
people
done it yet.
Will go down there.
They're never during like times where there's no school. They're always on a day that's like during the school year, it seems.
Yeah, again, it's another one of those. People will go down there just for that. I've seen that happen. I've done 3 a.m. That's pretty good. I think I've been down there though when one of those was going on, or close to it. But the coolest summer ever is happening this May. All right. Yeah, we're only halfway through the year, and I guess we got to keep moving. In June, well, we've already talked about this, and I'm going to miss it just barely by a few days in my trip, but starting in June starts the Sounds Like Summer concert series. Again, some good music. And then the Frozen Summer Fun is happening this summer.
That's because there's nothing to do at Hollywood Studios, so they have to.
That's
well,
mean.
let's be honest, right? I mean, it's.
Yeah. Now you can celebrate your Frozen characters all summer long at Hollywood Studios. Yeah, but that makes it fun. You know, I love those kind of events. And I think they do, again, they're doing that fireworks over there at Hollywood Studios. That's pretty good fireworks, right?
Yes.
And the Frozen sing-along, I really enjoyed that. I don't know about the dance party. Anyone like the dance party?
My kids did. Well, my oldest son did. He's all about the DJ dance party. He thinks that's awesome.
I like watching them. I watch them over at Magic Kingdom. I get a laugh. I like watching the videos where one of the characters walks out and the head falls off. But I like watching the dance and watch the kids have fun.
Pirates of the Caribbean is going down starting the 8th of June and will be down all summer until September.
Yeah, when does that go down?
The 8th of June. And it's going to be done September 25th.
I think they pushed it out, so I lucked out. I'll be able to ride it. Did you guys hear why they're bringing that down?
I think it just needs a refurbishment. When I was there in October, it was constantly going down for the day, or there was delays. So I think that I thought I heard there were some new boats they were going to be putting in. I don't know for sure.
That's the way I heard it, because Lindsay and I have talked about this. And have you rode the Pirates of Caribbean and gotten soaking wet in the first 2 rows?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the talk is it's something with the boats they switched out there, and they're going to fix that problem.
Okay. And they then scoop up a bunch of fingers from the water too.
I don't know if that's an issue they're going to be dealing with too. But yeah, you bring up a good point though, Brian. There are some websites out there where you can check and see if some of your favorite attractions are going to be down for refurbishment. And that's sometimes a bummer. That happens a lot in the wintertime, doesn't it, too?
Yeah, the slower times of year typically is when they're, and slower time, I guess, when is that? But I think typically January, February, they do a lot of refurbishments. I know, well, last October, the railroad was down for a while, too. But it looks like Pirates of the Caribbean is really the biggest one that I see. There's none in Epcot coming up.
I was there one time when Splash Mountain was down, which is my favorite attraction of them all. And I think it came back up just in time for me to ride it. Mm-hmm. All right. Into July. Now, I think basically the summer. Well, you got Independence Day in July 4th. Now, Disney World is known for fireworks. I don't think I've ever seen the July 4th fireworks. Have you guys?
Yes, the July 4th fireworks at Magic Kingdom are unbelievable.
I think they show them on TV. Sometimes.
I've seen the New Year's fireworks on TV, but I've never seen 4th of July. I know that I've heard the Epcot fireworks on 4th of July are supposed to be pretty amazing, too.
I think they're pretty amazing every night, really, when you think about it, the amount of time they put into it and how big and extravagant, and the music and the choreography and all that. But to go on a holiday, it's definitely extra special. They really bring out all the stops.
And if you're going to be there, Magic Kingdom's going to be packed. There's probably not a whole lot going on in Animal Kingdom, but probably, I think, I don't know what you guys think, but I think for the best park to be in on a busy day like that would be Epcot, just because it's the size of it, and of course the margaritas. But
well, we'll talk about the 31st of December once we get there. But I did Epcot for the first of the year, and yeah, I would say that it was crowded though. I mean, it was packed. They pack them in there pretty good. But you can at least move. I think Magic Kingdom's got to be pretty crowded. I would go up to Bay Lake Tower maybe and watch them. That'd be my place.
I got to push around a double stroller, so
yeah,
I got to find open pathways so I can clip some people in the back of the leg.
Now, with July and August, the one thing I don't know about events. unless you guys can think of them. But you got to talk about the heat. And I've been there in August. I've had to go in August because of school. And now when I'm trying to book, I've had like doing 2-bedroom over at Bay Lake Tower, and I've got like 9 people going. And the only time we could all go, even when the kids are now in college, was an August trip we did a couple years ago. And I got to tell you guys, the hottest I've ever been in my entire life was that first day getting off the plane and going through Magic Kingdom. And of course, my sister-in-law told me about 40 times, is it hot out here? You know, it's hot. It's like, yes, it is hot in Orlando in the middle of August. But you know what? I still enjoy it. I would still go, and you just got to manage it.
Yeah, I think there's ways to beat it. One of the things, and I know I beat it to death, but there's a lot of people out there that don't know it because I see it when I'm in the parks. And one of the biggest tips that I tell people is to take advantage of the free ice water. As opposed to, I remember I was one of those guys that was going and buying a couple of bottles of Dasani for $2.50 a piece, and every time you go buy 2 or 3 bottles for, myself, my wife, and the kids, and that adds up over the course of a day. But all the counter service restaurants in all of the parks, you can get free ice water, and it's basically like a medium-sized drink with ice water, obviously, and the lid and the straw. Exactly. And you can order, when I go order, I usually get 4. And, if we drink them, we drink them. If not, we can always get another free one. But Exactly. It just blows my mind. There's people that are still paying, the $2.50 for the bottle of water.
And they just don't want anybody passing out from heat exhaustion. So they're more than willing to give you free water and ice. We pack those in our bag and we put ice in there, and then we just get them refilled. You go up to the counter, they'll give you free ice too if you got a bottle.
So how'd you stay cool in August? What are some other things that you...
I mean, for me, I do this even when I'm working outside. I keep my head doused in water all the time. I'll go to a water fountain. I keep my head wet. And that's my best way. And, of course, stay in the air conditioning as much as you can. Yeah. And you really can't go as hard in August. You got to take a break. And spend some pool time. Do some pool time. You'll see a lot of the resorts, the pools are definitely packed in August. Right, ladies?
Oh yeah.
Erica, you're not into the heat, I don't think either.
Well, the heat, I don't mind the heat, but the August heat is pretty brutal.
Yeah.
My tip is just try to take advantage of either early mornings or late nights and just stay out of the parks in the afternoon as much as possible.
True. All right. September brings in, well, it's kind of funny. One of the things they're talking about here, and you guys would know this as travel agents, this thing says free dining.
Oh boy. Don't say free dining.
Yeah. Please don't say that.
Say free dining. That's what this website says.
Next month, let's move to the end of the year.
Why is that where everyone's booking?
Well, Erica, do you want to talk about it?
It's just, there's really nothing good to say about it. I guess, long story short, there was just a lot of stress around free dining this year, and I think anybody who's a travel agent probably came pretty close to the breaking point a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, really?
I broke. I broke.
What was the problem?
Especially hour 5 on hold. Yeah. That's fun.
There was a lot of, well, typically in the past, I know Disney has opened it up to Disney Visa card holders before they opened it up to the general public. And to my knowledge, they didn't do that this year. And then when it finally was announced, it was kind of announced in the morning in an email. And I know personally that agents that I work with that were on hold for 5-6 hours and then were either hung up on or disconnected. And nothing was working with it. The server, the website was crashing.
Took them down
constantly.
Yeah.
And it was and you have a lot of people that, I can't tell you how many people that I got phone calls that day saying, "Oh, hey, and I'm interested in looking at a package now because we heard about this free dining." Well, it's kind of hard because everybody heard about it at the same time and everybody wanted it, and it didn't work out really well. I mean, at least for me, I wasn't able to. I didn't have a lot of people going, but I had 2 people going, but I wasn't able to get free dining for anyone yet. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess. And what ended up happening, I actually, by some miracle, got through on the phone right at 7 when they opened that morning. I don't know. It must have been like, I should have bought a lottery ticket that day. I don't even know how it happened. But I had several people who could not get any free dining at any deluxe resort at all. Like there was none. And so then a couple of weeks later, it seemed like all of a sudden they just put more inventory in or something. And then I was able to get it all later. But during that time, you know, when it was released, it was just really stressful as a travel agent to feel like you couldn't accomplish anything for your client. It's just extremely frustrating. But in the end, it actually worked out because they ended up, I don't know if they just put in more rooms or what, but it ended up working out fine in the end. After I had 4 heart attacks.
I think too, it's important to I mean, you need to look at your budget and to figure out whether or not it's really a good deal for you. Because with free dining, you're going to be paying rack rate for the room. You're going to have to, if you don't have a park hopper, you move up to the park hopper. So, I mean, sometimes, you know, it might not make sense. I have a lot of younger families that when they go, I tell them, I think that the park hopper is, if you think it makes sense for your family, if you want to bounce back and forth, that's a good idea. That's fine. But I know for me and my family, my young kids, we can't really go from park to park each day, so it doesn't make sense to get the park hopper. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a great deal, and you're right, Erica. I have heard of people too. The last couple of weeks have been saying, "Oh, hey, I got free dining," and yeah, you're right. They must have opened some more inventory, or something happened where there was more availability.
I honestly just think it was a situation where it wasn't loaded into the system properly because, like I said, I called right at 7 and couldn't get anything for my clients with the deluxe. I think all they had were just some club level rooms, but you know, for it to just change like night and day like that after the fact, I think there must have just been some sort of problem or miscommunication about inventory or something. I don't know. We'll probably never know what the reason was, but
no.
All right. Well, we're getting close to our hour. Here I thinking we couldn't cover a whole hour on this topic, and it's been easy. Now, you're getting into the 4th quarter, towards the end of September. They've moved this in a little bit over the year. And I see it starts this year, September 26th. That's the Food and Wine Festival, which is very popular and lots of fun, which we kind of talked about a little bit already. You got your food and your wine. and your concerts and all that jazz. I've never done any of those big things that they do, like culinary events, that kind of thing. They're pretty expensive, but I love Epcot World Showcase, so it's a good time of year to go. And it's starting to cool down a little bit in September into October, so it's a good time to go. Anything else on the Food and Wine?
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is my favorite, but
right. So you can catch the nice thing about this time of year is you can get both of those events at the same time. I think that's why it's a very popular time to go.
I ate actual candy corn. I ate candy corn flavored ice cream and candy corn flavored cotton candy in the same night. So that was kind of like my mini food and food festival all to myself. So
that was at the Halloween party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who needs the Food and Wine Festival when you got that, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, some of those treats that they bring out just for the partier.
Yeah, I've done the Not So Scary Halloween Party twice, And it's definitely a big favorite as far as the parties for our family. You've heard us talk about it actually even during the Mother's Day special we just recently did. Mama was there. She stayed till 2 a.m. at Magic Kingdom all by herself getting all the candy. So
It's my kind of mama.
she loves Halloween anyways, and she loves all that spooky, scary stuff, although this is not so scary. It's a great event. And
Now I have that second with that part of the song in my head.
yeah. The parade is fantastic. I
Yeah.
mean, that parade is just really good, and the special fireworks. It is a ticketed event where you got to pay extra to get. I think it was $50 a ticket, so it's not inexpensive. You got to have a park ticket, I believe, too, in order to get in. But it is extremely popular. It's well attended, and it's a lot of fun. So you mix that with the Food and Wine Festival, and you got a pretty popular October there, and then you're leading into the November, which would be Thanksgiving. We did a whole show on Thanksgiving, but I've gone to Thanksgiving time. We took the kids, I think, on our second trip. The thing about Thanksgiving is it can be crowded there, the 4 days of Thanksgiving, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, do you guys have anything about Thanksgiving that's particularly special?
We have done a couple of the restaurants that have special menus for the day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a cool thing to investigate. If you are going to be there for Thanksgiving, you can get traditional Thanksgiving meals at several different locations. Last time, I think we had ours at Trails End.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was really good. They had all the typical Thanksgiving stuff you would like.
Yeah, that's fun. And, of course, that's when the holiday decorations start going up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They
And the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights starts in early November.
Is that what they're calling it now? This dancing lights.
Yeah, they dance now. Dance to the music. They're so cool. That's one of my favorite things about Disney. I love the fall decorations on Main Street in Magic Kingdom. But seeing the decorations for Christmas are really cool too. And there's a lot going on at Epcot, around the world, all the different Santas and things like that.
Remind me the Halloween decorations, the pumpkins and the oranges and Main Street decorated. Really cool decorations. Some scarecrow kind of pumpkin heads we took our pictures with out front there in the little courtyard when you come into Magic Kingdom. Just spectacularly done. But then one night, the next day, the Christmas stuff is up. Most of it.
Yeah.
Overnight, it starts popping up. So that is really, Christmas time is a really special time at Disney World. Have you guys ever done the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party? I've never done that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. Yeah. It's not, I don't like it as well as the Halloween party, but that's still a pretty high compliment because I love the Halloween party so much. But
right.
Great fireworks, special fireworks for it, the parade, cocoa and cookies all you want. So it's a lot of fun too.
Does Santa Claus come in the parade?
He does.
Yeah, of course they do the parade that's on television.
Pretty similar.
Yeah.
Are the cookies all you can eat?
Certain quick service places you can go up and get as many cookies as many different times as you want, and hot cocoa.
So cool.
I know where we're going in December, Kurt.
Well, a lot of people like that first 2 weeks of December because you got the Halloween. You got the Christmas decorations, but you don't have as much of the crowds as you will the time between Christmas and New Year's. People like that time of year.
The last time I did December, we did the first 2 weeks of December, and it was right after 9/11.
Okay.
And it was a ghost town, literally. I mean, there was no one there.
No one was flying, really.
Yeah.
I remember we did the Osborne Lights, one of our early trips. Now, didn't they take those down? Like, they didn't have them for a year. I don't know if it was 2. And then they basically had to bring them back
Well, they moved him from Residential Street, where they have like the Golden Girls house, and I can't remember, like a house from Ernest Save Christmas or something like that. And I know they moved him. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but yeah, because they used to be in a different location.
Yeah, that's probably the different location was where I saw him going back.
Okay. Yep. And they didn't dance then, so now you have to go see. And that's a great thing about Disney is that there's always something new happening. So you've never seen them dance, and
they gave us like those glasses that give you a 3D movie, and you could see angels.
Yeah.
When I went, I don't know if they still do that.
I was just dumbfounded by the bubble snow. Just thought that was so cool until you try to get it catch on your tongue and it doesn't work out.
Now Christmas week, it was kind of fun when we used to go when the kids were little.
You've been there during Christmas, the actual Christmas week?
Yes, we did with the kids. Actually, if you listen to the Mama's show, the Mother's Day show, Mama talks about it where the kids were afraid they weren't going to get any Christmas presents because we were going to be in Disney World and Santa's not going to know that we were in Disney World. So we had the grandparents put things under the tree so when they came home they had presents for Christmas. It was kind of cute.
Wait a minute. What are you saying? Are you
what? Yeah, don't tell anybody.
I thought this is a family friendly.
Yeah. Maybe I gotta cut that out.
Edit that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Christmas, it was fun. Of course, you got the crowds, and but it was Christmas, and of course New Year's. I really enjoyed New Year's.
Well, Curtis, would you do it again? Would you do Christmas at Disney again?
Okay, with DVC, it makes it a little harder because I got to spend more points. So I got to give up.
Sure.
I probably got to spend. I could do 2 weeks for what it would cost me to do 1 week on points there. I would do it again. Yeah. I mean, I would love it. Again, I would love to do New Year's. I think I would actually like your plans. I would like to do New Year's and then stay the week after, maybe. Is what I would rather do. I like having Christmas at home with the family too.
Yeah.
That's that's a tough call. When the kids are little, especially. But the New Year's, it was just really fun to be at Epcot for New Year's. Great fireworks, a lot of dance parties, and a lot of people having fun. That was a good time. I had to get a second win. I'm not much of a night person, but I held up really good that night, I remember. What do you guys think of Christmas week and New Year's?
I've never tried.
Yeah, I've never tried it. And of course, like I said, my wife is a teacher, so a lot of time for us going down, we have to go down at times like that. That's why I've always contemplated, a Thanksgiving trip or a Christmas trip, but I don't do well with crowds. It's difficult for me. I don't like walking down Main Street shoulder to shoulder with someone, close enough to where they could pick me up with
yeah.
So
the hotel
that's
rates,
the only thing that. What's that?
The hotel rates must be more expensive too, obviously, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna pay more to go that week.
Oh yeah, you're in peak. You're obviously it's more expensive, but
no discounts. They're not gonna run any 30% off hotels that week.
No, they don't have a problem filling the hotels.
Right.
So
I
think it would be fun. I've always wanted to do it. It's just. 'Cause then you factor in the cost of airfare, and it can be a lot. That's why budgeting is. I guess if you budget for it, you can make it work. But
very good.
I was worried about taking my kids last year for Christmas because we had been many times like the day after Christmas, but we had never actually gone for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and. I was kind of in the same mindset as you, Kurt, that, it just felt like Christmas should be at home. That's just the tradition. And so last year was our first time celebrating Christmas at Disney. And I have to say, I regret that I haven't been doing it that way all along. It was so awesome. It was like the best trip ever. I can't even tell you how great it was. Waking up at the Wilderness Lodge on Christmas morning, and we had a tree in our room and stockings hung by the balcony, and then that after we had our gifts and everything, we went down and had breakfast at Whispering Canyon, and then we hopped on the boat and went to Magic Kingdom for the day. It was the best Christmas. It couldn't have been any better. And so
good.
Anybody who's on the fence about it, I'd say go for it, because it was fabulous.
Yeah, we had a great time when we did it. But, well, I gotta ask you, go around the table here, guys. You gotta tell me, what's your favorite time of year to go? Let's go with the ladies first. And Sarah.
Oh, that's like asking me to pick my favorite child. You always do that to me.
So you have a couple favorites? Why don't you throw a couple at?
Yeah, I mean, I like to go in June because it's kind of become a tradition for us. Early June. It's not quite as hot yet, not quite as crowded as the rest of the summer rush. Some things going on then, and I do like it warmer than cooler. We used to go in January a lot, and we would have some freezing days that I really didn't enjoy. But I do love going in the spring when Flower and Garden is there, and I love the Christmas decorations too.
Excellent. Erica, can you nail a favorite time that you like to go?
It's really hard because I love them all for different reasons. I mean, if I just had to pick a time, I guess I'd have to give a slight edge to the fall, just because I love Food and Wine Festival and Mickey's Halloween Party, and I love the weather. I think the weather in October is awesome. But if you take the weather out of the equation, I think the Christmas decorations and the Christmas party would win out, except that we have been down there many times at Christmas and New Year's where, it can get into the 30s at night and it can get pretty cold. So I don't know. It's hard, but I love spring break too. And I love Flower and Garden. I love it all. I don't know. I just want to be there every day. So that's my answer.
Well, that's a good answer, because if people are trying to decide, they're not going to make a wrong decision. There's going to be something good for them to enjoy, no matter what time of year they go. All right, Brian, what do you think?
I'm going to agree with Sarah with early June. I really, like she said, the summer rush really hasn't started yet. You can, if you're lucky, you catch Star Wars weekends, if you're into Star Wars. And then I guess my second favorite child would be October. I love Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. We did it last year. My kids loved it. We dressed up. We had so much fun. I ate until I went into a diabetic coma. It was just, I love the fall. I love the decorations on Main Street. I love, Liberty Square at dusk during the Halloween party. It's just, I don't know. I love the fall down there. So I'd go with the fall, and then, my third favorite child would be December, early December.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll agree with you guys with the October for all the reasons you've given. That would be my number one. I do love the Flower and Garden Festival. I would love to be there at that time of year when it's cold still here and you can get some warm and really get the early spring taste. That is something I would love. Maybe next year. I'm trying to decide whether February or March next year, but because of Ben's baseball, it might be March. And I'm glad you guys are saying first week of June, because that's when I'm going this year.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think compared to the rest of the summer, it's not as busy, and it won't be as hot. I mean, obviously it's still going to be hot, but it's not going to be as hot. You avoid hopefully some of the rain, but like I always say, a rainy day at Disney is better than a sunny day at home, in my opinion. So,
you know what? Good way to end it, because I think you can have a good time no matter what time of year you go. Even if you got to go in August, you will have a good time. Just get a good frame of mind for that heat. That first day is tough though. So you get used a little bit to it. All right, guys, this was fun. We definitely talked through the whole year, and I'm glad we could do that for everyone to give our first planning show down the road here. And why don't you guys tell us where we can find you on the web? Sarah, where are you at? And I know you were probably booking clients while we were talking.
Yeah. Helping out just a few wanting to go last minute this summer, of course. So want to get everything that we can for them. You can find me on Facebook. at Sarah LBAC. You can find me on Pinterest and Instagram and lbactravel.com.
All right. Erica, how about you?
My main website is ericamurphytravel.com, and from there you can find links to my Facebook, Erica Murphy Travel, also my Pinterest, Instagram, my blog. I have a Disney travel blog that I work really hard on. And yeah, you can just find all the links on my website.
All right. I got to check out your blog. I haven't checked it out lately. You've been doing a lot of work over there?
Come on over and check it out.
I will. I'm always checking out websites. I'm always doing the Twitter thing and Facebook. I'm going to be promoting it. All right, Brian, how about yourself?
TravelTimeWithMickey.com, or look me up on on Facebook. Travel Time with Brian on Facebook.
Excellent. Yes, I am so excited. I've got so many shows in the can, as they say, as a podcaster, so I can go off to Disney World very soon, and I won't have to worry about recording. But I'll be doing some live recording, so stay tuned for that. I know, Brian, you really gave me a lot of great feedback on that. I can't wait to do that. I am looking forward to it. But as soon as I get back, we'll be looking to book some more guests on the show, and you can be one of those. Just send me an email, kurt.stone@geekinonwdw.com. And then if you just have a question or you got an idea for something for the show, send me an email and I'll chat back with you. I love that. Same thing on Twitter and Facebook. Get a hold of me there. I enjoy all that social media stuff. And what else? 5-star iTunes review. I got a couple recently. I'm so excited about that. We really appreciate that. If you can do some iTunes review, helps us get the show out there to other folks. And that's it for tonight. Thanks for going geeking on WDW with us, and have a great magical day, night, whatever you're doing. Take care. Oh yeah, you guys gotta ask me about the bear, I guess. That is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. I saw the post and I thought we were gonna be hostless tonight.
Somebody commented, "You were on your walk, but did you end up running?" That was pretty good. Very, very clever. There you go.
Want me to do the music?
Can you?
No.
No. I know, you'd think I'd have it memorized by now. Let's see. Welcome to episode 70 of the Geekin on Walt Disney World podcast, and I am your co-host, Curtis Stone. We are the family-friendly... Oh, well, yeah, hold on.
Daughterless?
I had something. I almost said that. Yeah, he said, no, okay. I put this, okay, hold on.